Ever wondered why your hefty salary seems to vanish before the month ends? If you're nodding along, you're not alone. This is a pattern that's all too common in the mining industry. High salaries, yet somehow life never feels quite enough. Over my 30 years of experience in mining, I've seen this pattern repeat itself, from operators to managers. Everyone seems to be running on the same hamster wheel. Big paychecks, but an even bigger list of expenses. There are 3 unspoken reasons behind this financial paradox that no one seems to be talking about. Firstly, lifestyle inflation. As soon as the salary increases, expenses seem to sprint even faster. New car installments, a house in the city where the prices are skyrocketing, and a lifestyle that fits the job title rather than financial goals. Secondly, the absence of passive income. The salary from mining is active income. You stop working, the money stops coming in. But how many of you have assets that work for you while you sleep? Property, stocks, mutual funds, a small business. If you don't, then you're not rich. You're just someone with a high salary. And thirdly, the one that's rarely discussed, shift patterns. They leave you with no time to think about your money. You come home from the site, exhausted, and financial decisions are made in a state of fatigue. That's why impulse buying in the city during time off is much higher than average. The solution isn't to chase a bigger salary. The solution is to build a system. Before your paycheck even hits your account, 20% goes straight into investments. Automatically. No need for willpower. A mining salary is a privilege. But it only becomes advantageous when managed like a CEO, not like an employee. Let's delve into the 3 unspoken reasons behind this financial conundrum. The first culprit, lifestyle inflation. It's a bit like a balloon. The more you pump air into it, the bigger it gets, right? But what happens if you keep pumping? Eventually, it pops. Lifestyle inflation works in a similar way. As your income rises, so does your spending. And that's where the trouble starts. Let's take a look at some examples. You get a raise at work and you think, great, now I can afford that new car I've been eyeing. So you take on new car installments. Or you start earning more and decide it's time to move to the city, where everything is more expensive, the rent, the groceries, even the coffee. And then there's the lifestyle changes. You've climbed the corporate ladder and suddenly you feel the need to fit in. You start dining at fancy restaurants, vacationing at exotic destinations, buying designer clothes, all to keep up with the Joneses at work. But here's the thing, the Joneses are probably in debt. You see, lifestyle inflation is a cycle. The more you earn, the more you spend. And the more you spend, the more you need to earn. It's a never-ending loop that can leave you feeling like a hamster on a wheel, always running, but never really getting anywhere. But here's the kicker. You're not just spending your money, you're also spending your future. Every dollar you spend today is a dollar less for your retirement, your kids' education, or that dream home you've always wanted. So, as your salary inflates, so does your spending. But does it have to be this way? The second factor, a lack of passive income. Friends, let's delve into it. When we talk about income, we usually think about our salaries, bonuses, maybe even the odd overtime pay. But let's be clear, this is all active income. The moment you clock out, the money train halts. That's the nature of active income. It's directly tied to your time and effort. Now, imagine if you had a goose laying golden eggs while you sleep. That's the beauty of passive income. Let's break it down. Imagine you own a property and you're renting it out. The rent you collect each month, that's passive income. Or perhaps you've invested in stocks or mutual funds. The dividends and capital gains you earn, again, passive income. Even a small side business that doesn't demand your full attention can generate passive income. Passive income is an income stream that continues to flow even when you're not actively working. It's like a river that keeps flowing, whether you're there to witness it or not. It's the secret weapon of the truly wealthy. It's what enables them to maintain their lifestyle even when they're not actively working. It's their safety net, their financial cushion. Despite the high salaries in the mining industry, they are all active income. You stop working, the income stops. And that's the crux of our issue. How many of you have assets that work for you while you sleep? How many of you have a steady stream of passive income supplementing your active income? If the answer is no, then it's time to rethink your financial strategy. Without passive income, you're not wealthy. You're just well paid. You're like a hamster on a wheel, constantly running, but never really getting ahead. And that's not a sustainable way to live, let alone to secure a comfortable future for you and your loved ones. In the next scene, we'll discuss the third factor that contributes to the financial crunch despite high mining salaries. Stay tuned, and remember, true wealth lies not in your salary, but in your ability to generate passive income. The third and least discussed factor, shift patterns. In the mining industry, unusual work schedules are the norm. Long hours, nights, weekends, these shifts can take a toll on your body and mind. But have you ever considered how they might be impacting your financial health? Here's the thing, your shift pattern doesn't just dictate when you work, but also when you rest, when you spend time with your loved ones, and crucially, when you think about your money. And let's face it, after a long day or night at the mines, who has the energy to sit down and meticulously plan their finances? This lack of time and mental bandwidth is where the trouble begins. When you're tired, you're more likely to make impulsive, short-term decisions. You've had a tough week, you're off duty in the city, and you see that shiny new gadget or that trendy pair of shoes. It's tempting to treat yourself, right? And just like that, impulse buying creeps into your spending habits. The financial decisions you make in these fatigued states can have long-term implications. They can mean the difference between building a solid financial foundation and living paycheck to paycheck, despite a hefty salary. And these patterns can be hard to break. The more you give in to impulse buys, the more normalized they become. So, while shift work might be a necessary part of the job, it's important to recognize the role it can play in your financial well-being. You're not just battling physical exhaustion, but a potential drain on your wallet too. Now, this isn't to say that all hope is lost. Quite the contrary. By being aware of these challenges, you can start to make more conscious, deliberate decisions about your money. You can plan ahead, set spending limits, and even designate specific times for financial planning when you're rested and clear-headed. Remember, your financial health is just as important as your physical health. And just like you wouldn't neglect your safety on the job, you shouldn't neglect your finances either. Lack of time and energy can lead to serious financial missteps. The solution isn't to earn more, but to manage better. It's a truth that's often overlooked in our quest to make ends meet. We're always chasing after the next big paycheck. But what if I told you that the key isn't in earning more, but in managing what you already have more efficiently? Let's think about it. Imagine a system, a financial system that works for you, not against you. A system that takes the stress out of managing your money. Sounds too good to be true? Well, it's not. Here's how it works. Before your paycheck even hits your bank account, 20% of it is automatically diverted into investments. Yes, you heard it right. Before you even think about spending on anything else, you're already investing in your future. It's like having a personal financial manager who's always looking out for your best interests. Now, this isn't about hoarding wealth or living a life of austerity. It's about making your money work for you. It's about creating a cushion, that safety net that lets you breathe easy, knowing that you're taken care of no matter what. You see, managing money like a CEO isn't just about making smart investments. It's about understanding the value of your hard-earned cash, about making every penny count. It's about spending wisely, saving diligently, and investing shrewdly. It's about taking control of your finances instead of letting them control you. And it starts with that automatic 20% investment. It's the first step towards financial independence, the first step towards breaking the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. It's the first step towards a life where you're not constantly worrying about money. Remember, your mining salary is a privilege, not a right. It's something that you've worked hard for, something that you've earned. And with that privilege comes responsibility. The responsibility to manage it wisely, to make the most of it. With privilege comes responsibility. Use your mining salary wisely. Let's recap. We've unearthed a common issue in the mining industry, that feeling of financial instability despite a decent paycheck. This conundrum is often due to three main factors. First, lifestyle inflation. As your salary increases, so too do your expenses, often at a quicker pace. Second, the lack of passive income. Without assets working for you when you're not on the clock, you're not truly wealthy. You're just well paid. Lastly, shift patterns. The fatigue from long hours can lead to impulsive financial decisions. The solution isn't necessarily a bigger paycheck, but rather a better financial system. Allocate 20% of your income to investments before anything else, automatically, no willpower needed. Remember, a mining salary is a privilege, but it's most beneficial when managed like a CEO, not a regular employee. Stay tuned for more mining career and financial insights you won't find anywhere else.